Well, it's 6 AM. I'm just waiting for Dave to pull up. After 10 long months, we're off to Linear. At long last, we are on the banks of Oxlease. It's been a while. Anyway, just so happens that I'm reminiscing about a session me and Pete had 2 years ago. Given the fact that it must be over 30 degrees again, I've come to the back of the swim onto the path to get in the shade. It's absolutely stifling, which is not good. However, the weather is set to change tomorrow, or begin to change tomorrow, and the next few days are going to be potentially thundery, and that can only be good, can't it? Fingers crossed. I think I'll stick to the old the 20 wrap routine. We'll see what happens anyway, but I won't be putting much out, put it that way.
What about that then? A little something for on the bank? Rather than buy, it's homemade protein flapjacks.
Just to give you a flavour of the heat here. This is what it's looking like in the swim at the minute. Actually, it's just taking a bit of a lull now that it's coming to early evening. God, it's blistering hot. Absolutely blistering. Really is. You wouldn't think that was good fishing weather, would you? Well, I certainly wouldn't. Let's go and have a look what Dave's up to then. See if he's all set up. Now, I've got to admit, for you lads who do a bit of vlogging, if you've not got a gimbal, then treat yourself to one, even if it's a cheap one. It makes a hell of a difference. Here he is in his palace.
Hi, son.
Yes, mate. Stifling, isn't it? Well, I'm just having a cuppa as the light begins to fade. And it really is the best drink of the day. There's a couple of rigs hanging up in the tree. Ready for the next cast or two. Don't know whether you can see these. It's a little carp. Must be this year's fry. Getting bigger. And a mob of swans. Fortunately, they're out there and not in here. Well, it's been a quiet night as expected. There were a few fish milling about on the surface yesterday in the afternoon, and I'm expecting it's going to be the same again today. because it's going to be pushing 30 degrees, 31. So I think the zigs will be going out early afternoon until this evening, and I'll probably take cover on the path at the back again. Now then, here's a good one for you. Do you use any particular kind of pellets? Because in here there is something for everyone, and that's just how I like it. Give those carp something to think about, yeah? Temperatures are now beginning to soar, and just before this sun comes round the trees, the zigs went out. There are carp out there actually, so there's a couple of zigs gone out. I've got the short rod still on the go, and in the meantime it's time to enjoy a little holiday spirit with one of Czech's finest. Cheers. Oh, ice cold. Oof, it's the spot. Should do this more often. At this juncture, I will mention that myself and Dave paid a visit to Embryo Norton Disney a couple of weeks ago. Dave went for an exploratory angling mission just for the day, and I just went to check it out and didn't take any of my gear. Had a cracking day there, and despite the waters not being as mature as they could be, obviously because it's a new venture, the promise is there, and it most definitely sets the bar for the future. Last week I went over to see Jamie Code at Perfected Particles to collect my usual spod mix. This time around I went for hemp and maize. But anyway, I took the opportunity to have a quick catch up. Have a look at this. Well, here we are back in Jamie's unit at Perfected Particles with his new shelf up, displaying his wares. Right matey, anything new happening since I last saw you?
I just got busier.
Do you think it's anything to do with the lockdown?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you go through a bit of a lull then, when it was all going on?
No.
It's just constant?
Yeah, I was still doing bait for the fisheries who needed bait putting into the lakes.
Oh, fair
Just
play
cooking
to you.
up loads of maize.
Excellent. And I've come to pick up some maize and hemp mix from you today, haven't I?
Yeah. I've got a big new gun actually. Got a new gun.
Yes.
Sausage gun.
Awesome.
Do about 15 to 20 kilo at once in it.
Right, so you can
So it's less time making it in it.
Yeah.
Make one big mix then.
Excellent.
Got a new roller, 14mm one, so I can do 14mm baits.
Now we're rocking. That sounds interesting.
And an auto cutter, so I don't have to stand there anymore. I'm pushing sausages in. Gone for automation.
Excellent.
and therefore more productivity. That's what you want, mate, isn't it?
That's the one.
It's all looking good anyway. Dave's off the mark.
Morning, folks. Had a nice result this morning. About half an hour ago. This little beauty. 31 pound.
That's a nice start to the day, Dave, isn't it?
It certainly is. A merry old fight. Lovely fish though. Nice old warrior.
Looks like an old bruiser.
Yeah, a bit like me.
Very nice.
Beautiful fish.
It is. Proper old crusty.
All about 4 kilos a bait. Should be munching.
Yeah.
Get that.
It is for sure. Happy days.
Oh, yes.
We needed that.
Right, it's second day, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
nice fish, but it's been too warm, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. 31 going back.
Yeah. What a stonker, eh?
Mm.
I've got a nickname this after my wife, Della. Beautiful fish.
Very nice. There she goes. Here's a little tiny rig that I thought was worth a mention. You take a look at that. It's absolutely tiny. We've got a size 10 curved shank hook on about 5 inches of 25-pound silkworm. Now, you don't see a lot of this around these days, and it's a brilliant, strong, supple hook link. And the point I wanted to make here is I put a little 12mm pop-up on there, and that's actually a slip D presentation, and with a bait screw on it. So it's as simple as just screwing the bait on, and all I've got there over the knot is a little tiny piece of shrink tube just to keep the knot in place. That's all. It's not used as a kicker, and a loop on the other end. And this is identical to the rig that I caught a 28 and a 31 on here one night when everybody else was blanking. So it just goes to show you. I hooked that onto a little tiny PVA bag, and that was enough to do the business. So, dare to be different. Well, Dave's had a result, and so have I, albeit half the size, mind you. 18 it went. There you go. 18 to start, isn't it? It's a dark one. I like the back on it. I'll be happy with a few more of these. Let's hope they get a bit bigger.
Oh, definitely.
Little orange pop-up at 80 yards over a light sprinkle and a spod mix. Did the business. Just the jobby. This little fellow was so reluctant to come in. He doesn't want to go now. Just having a rest. He's probably like me, hot and bothered. Well, there's the rig that did the business. That's an orange coloured 5-star baits, Deception custom pop-up. It's fish mix, which is peach and pepper flavour, certainly peach anyway, and a little piece of artificial corn in orange on top. I've mentioned this before, I like to keep my artificial baits in dip or glog or whatever you want to call it. There's today's selection. The little orange one here is about to go onto the rig. Whew. Time for a quick catch up. Well, Dave had that result this morning, didn't he? Good start to the session, and I'm very pleased to be off the mark. A couple of fish have come off the opposite bank as well, certainly that I've noticed anyway. So they are coming out steadily, despite the heat. A few fish milling along the surface now, and the temperature again is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not complaining. What have you got there, Dave?
Oh, a 7-pound tench.
7? Not to be sneered at.
Oh, fishing for them though with walnut rods.
Yeah.
This is second one I've lost a bigger one than this.
Is that on a feeder?
Yeah, maggot feeder with a big long worm on.
Superb. Very good.
Potty fish there, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's hope we get a few more now.
I think it's a male. Looks like a male. I might be wrong, but good champ of fish though, isn't it?
Yeah. It is when all the carp are just milling around not doing anything.
Oh, I know.
Making the most, are you?
Oh, definitely. I've definitely made the most of it.
This looks handy. It's the Ridge Monkey Perspective Collapsible 10 litre bucket. Now, I do have a collapsible bucket, but not one with a clear panel on the side, which may well be handy when testing rigs before casting them out. So how long it will last and how long that clear section will stay clear remains to be seen, but we can only try, can't we? Alright matey,
There we go.
another one.
Another one at 7 pound.
Would you believe it? Different
Another
shape,
bounce
that
at 7 pound.
yeah, slightly different shape. The worm's doing the biz.
Definitely. Wouldn't surprise me if I get a carp over this.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I put about 2.5 kilo of hemp out there with some casters. Just fishing over the top with the worm.
Lovely job.
Maggot feeder. Lovely.
Well, here I am in the back of the swim again. I think it's about 5 PM. Yeah, thereabouts. And the sun now is directly in front of me in the swim. And it's absolutely unbearable out there. So, here I am near the path. No point making little bits of video, is there, when there's nothing to say? So in the meantime, I'll do the right thing. Cheers. Oh, just the ticket. I'd better make a point here and say that the weatherman got it wrong again, or at least my 2 weather apps did. That change in weather hasn't happened, and apparently one of the apps, or both of them, agree that tomorrow could be the day that it does change. I've got everything crossed.
That water is absolutely alive. There are tension carp all over the place. But they ain't hungry, and who can blame them in this temperature? Whoosh! Down a bit, Dave. Okay, Dave, you're in again.
Yeah. Nice 8 pound tench.
8, getting bigger.
Yeah,
How many have you had now?
5 and lost 1. Yeah, all coming to log worm.
Yeah.
No carp coming out, only just the one, but nice stamp of tench.
Yeah.
Can't complain at that in this weather.
No.
came off a nice big logworm.
Yeah.
Maggot feeder, with some casters and hemp. Lovely fish. So led me a bit of a merry dance.
It did give you a scrap, that one, didn't it? On light tackle.
Yeah, lovely.
What do you make of this? That's lightning. And it's absolutely constant. Over there and to the right as well. It's just non-stop. Whoosh. Wow. Absolutely wild.
These baits are quite literally the nuts. They're a combination of peanuts, tiger nuts and Brazil nuts, blended with vanilla, coconut and condensed milk flavourings. They're available in freezer and shelf life versions, 12, 15 and 18mm. Hook baits are available in Match the Hatch pop-ups, wafters and hardened hook baits. Or if you're looking for a hook bait that's a little bit different and will stand out over your bed of freebies, you can choose from one of the huge range of flavours and colours. These, for example, are fish mix in 12mm orange, and these little beauties are cranberry and almond 15mm in pink.
Right. Another wake up call, man, you was awake. A screaming run. It went 19 this, so they're getting bigger. A white plum pop-up. It's 80 yards, again over the bait. Not put a lot out, but I've been putting a bit out at nightfall, purely because it's cooler. Seems to be doing the job anyway. Pleased with that.
Well, there's the view from the bivvy. It's late morning now. Bite time is ebbing away, but there's still a chance. I understand by the weather forecast that it's still going to be blazing hot until early evening, when finally this rain, which should have happened 2 days ago, is going to happen. I won't hold my breath, but you never know. Anyone would think I'd just squatted 500 kilos for about 48 reps. All I've done is cast the rod out. I'm absolutely wet through. It just goes to show you how hot it is. You know what, these thermal mugs. I don't know whether you can hear that. I've got ice in it. Oh, what luxury.
Well, what a top result. I just broke my PB tench, 11 pound. After about 7 years of waiting to break it. There you go. What a fish. Well, I'm just like a Cheshire cat. I'm fishing for them. Casters and hemp with a big log worm over the top. This is about my 7th one now. But like I say, she's my PB and I'm well pleased. Originally it was 10.3 and this is 11 pound. Wow, what a fish.
This is a big fish.
Well, it's bite time, as you can probably hear by the hissing. The kettle's on, so it's time for a cuppa.
Well, had a top result this morning. It's a beautiful mirror, £27.
28 and a half, wasn't it?
Sorry,
27 and a half.
27 and a half. Had this at 2.5 wraps. Just imagine, on a big log worm. What a result.
A light tackle as well.
Yeah, 1.7 taff curd rod, size 10 hook, and a £10 hook link,
That's an awesome fish.
isn't it? She led me all the merry dance round the edges then just. Stunner though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely fish. Let's hope there's more to come for today.
Yeah.
Belted.
I think somebody's got himself stuck. Oh God. There you go.
Well, there you go. Second one of the morning. 19.5 common. Taken close in. Over a better bait. Put a fish. Nice common. Put a good scrap up. I hope there's more to come this morning.
Still time.
Now that weather's changed.
This is the old spod mix from Perfected Particles. Straightforward hemp and maize mix. Adds a bit of colour. Thrown a few chops in there for good measure. I put half a dozen spods out last night with that new Nash micro dot, and it flies true. What have you got there, Del?
Fish. A tench, a 4.5 pound tench.
Very nice too.
Yeah.
Now this is what happens when you hook carp on tench gear. Get in!
Top result for the day. Fourth one of the day. £21. Caught on a white pop up. Close in. On a nice gravel patch. Over some hemp.
Little beauty.
Isn't it? Nice scale pan on it. That could be a mid-20 in spring. Definitely.
Well, what a session Dave's having, eh? And as for me, I couldn't catch a cold in this swim today. It's my final evening, so I've got everything crossed now. The rods are on the dance floor for that last gasp attempt. Bite time has been morning up until noon, and Dave had 1 or 2 early afternoon today as well. And they were moving quite close in. I think I missed a trick this morning. I got on some bubbling early on and close in, but I think I was just at the tail end of it. Won't make that mistake again. Dave tells me he's staying on for another couple of days, so I'll have to wait before I edit the final cut of the video, won't I? Because no doubt he'll have a few more surprises up his sleeve. Well, that's the view this morning. Bit of a damp pack up for me. Nothing's happened during the night for either of us. So I'm looking forward to a last gasp run. See if I can snatch one out before I finish. Knowing my luck, it's highly unlikely, but you never know. Do you think this guy's been living in my bivvy all week? Because that's where I found him. Well, I'm back in the luxury of Dixon Towers now. The gear's packed away. Had to go outside and get it all dried off. But everything's sorted now. Fortunately, we had a dry day when I arrived back. Not so today though. I can't tell you how much I needed that session. It's great therapy, isn't it? I was hoping that changing weather was going to act in my favour, but it wasn't the case, was it? However, those of you who do watch my videos will understand that for me, catching is just a part of it, and it's being there that matters. And I cannot think of any better sanctuary than being at one with Mother Nature. Dave had an amazing session, didn't he? And if you think that's all he had to offer, take a look at this.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I've just had an 18-pound mirror to 20 wraps over a big bed of bait, so they started feeding again. Let's hope I get a few more in that. Oh, at least it's another one. Anyway, good night folks. First tench of the morning, £8. And this is the 8th one of the trip. I've had them between £6 and £11 this week. Definitely on the bait now. £25. Same again, 20 wraps. Key to it is a nice tight bait. Nice tight baited area. Let's see what gets. Lovely. There you go. 4th one of the day. Again taken at 20 wraps. £21. And I've got another one in the net, a little bit bigger than this. Within space of 10 minutes. Let's hope there's more to come. This is the second one of the two. Taken again at 20 wraps on same rod. This weighed £26. They're definitely munching on my bait. I'm averaging about 7 spawns of fish, and they're coming definitely over it. Proper fizzing out there. Let's hope there's more to come.
Superb! And who knows, we might get there again next month if we're very lucky. Everything crossed. But until then, I'll see you on the bank.